Up at the top of the course, I believe we're looking at, yes, lane 5 there. That's Ferguson from Miami Beach. Makarski from US Rowing Camp. Banfield. By sitting ready, and off to his left is Francis from St. Louis. Looks like they're just about ready to go, and they're off. So looking at Mr. Banfield in lane 3, nice quick start. So they are out of the breakage zone, so we have an official race. Mr. Banfield settling down now after the high strokes. Looking nice and clean. Nice straight course down towards the finish. They have about 1,800 meters to go. We'll pick them up as soon as we can with the camera launch. Referee launch off to the side. They look side by side. They're not at all. The referee launch is following some distance behind Mr. Banfield. And here they are on the camera launch. Again, on the outside is Mr. Ferguson from Miami Beach. Next to him in the white top is Makarski. As the boats get closer, we'll have actual margins. This looks like a nice, tight first 400 meters of this race. And that's Banfield, who we watched off the start, battling it with Mr. Makarski now for the lead. .500 meters. If there's a lead, it's Mr. Banfield over Makarski. Maybe a half a deck, but that margin seems to be increasing. And then third and fourth place, Francis closest to us, and Ferguson on the outside, battling for third and fourth. Again, 4 boats in this race, so the top 3 advance to the second final tomorrow. And if the winner of today's races win again tomorrow, then they are eligible to participate in the Junior World Championships. If not, then it goes to a third race. So right now it is Banfield out in front by 3/4 of a boat length over Makarski. Rowing very nicely here. They're getting a little bit of a crosswind here, but the water is going to be more protected as they get closer to the shore. Looking at Mr. Makarski there. But it is Banfield out in front. As they get close to the 1,000-meter mark, they're a little ways away. Now it's bow over stern, and those two have open water over Ferguson on the outside from Miami Beach. And then closest to us is Francis from St. Louis. Hard to say who's ahead between those two as they go through the 1,000-meter mark, but Mr. Banfield and Mr. Makarski out in front. See what happens in the third 500 here. We saw an interesting third 500 in the last race in the women's single. And Banfield, who had open water, Now has a little less than open water as Makarski puts on a push. Makarski coming up now only 3/4 of a boat length down and still moving. Now possibly a half a boat length down. The margin's a little hard to tell here. We're following behind them a little bit as not to wake the last cruise, but you can see that Makarski is moving a bit. Let's see if Banfield has a response. And I think he does. Let Makarski make that move, but then decided to hold him there with a push of his own, not allow him to get into easy viewing distance, should we say, or just a sideways look. Mr. Makarski still has to look way behind him, although he can probably hear Banfield right next to him. Banfield has easy view of Makarski. Now with 400 meters to go, it is lane 3. Mr. Banfield just barely holding off Makarski. Makarski's put on a good push and certainly has not dropped off much in the last couple hundred meters. Makarski making a push now. Now there's maybe a half a boat that separates these two. As we go to the finish line tower, so our leader on the right hand side of the screen, the margins from this angle look bigger than they actually are. Now Banfield does have a good lead and has gained more as he's gone into his sprint. Makarski is now open water behind as Banfield has less than 10 strokes to the line. And it's Banfield across the line. Makarski paddling across the line. And this is Ferguson from Miami Beach, so he will race again tomorrow. And at the top of your screen is Francis from St. Louis.